So in my last video where I talked about the whole pistol brace fiasco, well, that wasn't received the way I thought it would go. Now look, I get it. Yes, it's not what we want to do, but it's the legal reality. The attempts to stop this rule from going into effect haven't really gained any traction in court, and it's going to be dragging on. And right now, when I put this together, this video being published on April 24th of 2023, I doubt we're going to have anything resolved by the May 31st deadline. So you guys are going to have to do something. And remember, like I said before, if you don't want to comply, that's fine. I don't know if I recommend that because, number one, you could get in trouble. And then number two, as an attorney, I can't recommend you go out and break the law. But you're free to do as you wish. There are other options. And if you'd like to see, a second opinion on that, Matt over at Fudbusters does break this down as well. So this is me completing a Form 1. I completed this Form 1 back on March 13th. And right now it's in the process of being approved. I have not received my stamp yet. But I just wanted to show you guys, this is not a trap. The ATF is not going to come to the door and arrest. The goal is just to show you the fear-mongering. It's nonsense. The lies. They're bullshit. You shouldn't make your decisions like that, especially when it's something this serious where if you listen to them, you might end up going in a direction that does get you into trouble. And that's not fair to you if people are out there spreading bullshit accusations and bullshit rumors. So make the decision, do what's best for you. If you're not sure, contact proper legal counsel, not just any attorney, but talk to an attorney who does Second Amendment work, who does deal with national firearms issues. So without further ado, let's get to doing the Form 1. So here we are, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to go ahead and register. Now, I'm not going to become a spooky felon. Oh, no, I'm going to prison in 88 days. Woo! No, that's going to happen. Look, it's March 13th, 2023. I'm filing for a tax stamp today. I'm going to be fine. Showing you why everybody else is full of bullshit. Either it's for clicks, they're trying to tell you something, or they're just stupid. But let's get to it. Now, when you go to sign up to do an e-forms through the federal government, you go initially to this site here. And you're going to see this big red bar saying for final rule 2021 R-08F. Well, that's the pistol brace rule. And that's the thing you need to click on because the ATF is doing a special website just for that. But otherwise, if you wish to, make items or purchase items, you can do a Form 1, Form 4, Form 6, and quite a few other forms through the eForms website. But for the pistol brace ones, click on this red box. When you take that, it'll take you to another eForms website because technically you are making a short barrel rifle. You didn't buy it as a short barrel rifle, but you made it. Well, once you make it, you are now the maker. You have to do a Form 1 instead of a Form 4. So you're going to log in, and then you're going to be warned that you can't screw with the government database and government websites. Okay. Accept and log in. Then you're going to come here to, and I've already got passwords and all that set up, but you may have to register and create one. After you get those done, sign in. And then once you're here, you are going to do the application types. And they give you instructions. If you don't really know what's going on here, they will give you a whole list of things to do. Don't need to worry about those here. So we're just going to say, who's making the firearm? Who's making the item? So it's an item, not a firearm. It's an item. Is it an individual, which is what I'm going to do? Is it a trust? And you can go the trust route. Can you do it through a corporation? Yes. And either way of those, you have to submit your trust or your incorporating paperwork as well as all the responsible parties. So if you do an individual, there's only one responsible party. Other legal entities, there are other ways to do it. We're not going to get involved in that. If you are one of those other legal entities, certainly you don't need me to walk you through this because you probably already know what you're doing. Then the government. There probably is a government entity out there who does have pistol braced ARs. My God, that's gonna, or AKs or something. My God, that's so cringe though. The Hee-Hawville Sheriff's Department, maybe. has pistol braces. I don't know. Somebody does. But the neat part is when you're the federal government, that's, you don't pay tax on that stuff. So they have the right to register it however they want to. But we're going to go the individual route because that's what I'm doing. So you click next. Intended use of the forum. They give you a bunch of instructions here. If you need to read them, take your time and read them. But anyways, we're going to click next. We are doing a tax exempt. The firearm is not subject to the making tax pursuant to Title 26 in the United States Code. To conform, the application qualifies for a tax-free registration. The ATF may require additional supporting documentation, such as photographs, to the firearm to be registered. Okay, cool. That's the one we're going to. And this is the only one you can click. You can't click the other options. This is solely for a tax-exempt registration. And like we talked about before, with other things like the street sweeper and the USAS 12 and other items throughout history, the ATF has done tax-free registrations of those items. So we're going to go here. We're going to click next. And here it's just authorizing you and making you understand what this applies to. And if you have questions, you can click here and it'll give you some other things to go to. It'll send you to the criteria. You don't have to worry about that here. So we're just going to click accept. Now, I'm not an FFL, so I have an expiration date. I don't have an EIN, and I'm not an SOT class. So I don't pay a special occupation tax. So I don't have to worry about any of that. If I don't have an FFL, I've already filled out my information. So it's already got my information here, my country, my address, my zip code, my contact information. Okay. Well, then you get down to here. Now you're going to look at these makers questions. And for a lot of you, you're going to sit here and look at these and say, this looks a lot like a 4473. And pretty much is to an extent with a little bit of a difference. It talks about making. Well, that's the big difference here. So 11A, do you intend to make any firearm listed on this form for sale or other disposition to any person described in questions 11C through 11I, or to a person described in question 11M does not fall under an exception? No, I'm making this for myself. Do you intend to sell or otherwise dispose of any firearm listed in this form in furtherance of any felony or other punishable offense by imprisonment for a term of more than 1 year, a federal crime of terrorism, or drug trafficking? Nope, that's not in the cards. Are you under indictment or information in any court for a felony or other crime which judge could imprison you for more than a year? Nope. Have you ever been convicted in any court for a felony or any crime which judge could have imprisoned or given more than 1 year if you received a shorter sentence? Nope. Are you a fugitive from justice? Nope. Are you the unlawful user or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or the controlled substance? And once again, they remind you, marijuana remains illegal under federal law regardless of what your state has done. So no, I am not. Have you ever been adjudicated mentally defective? Well, some of you watching this, you may disagree with this, but no, I have not. Or have you been committed to a mental institution? And surprisingly, no, I have not. Have you been discharged from the armed forces under dishonorable conditions? Nope. Are you subject to a court order restraining you from harassing, stalking, or threatening your child or an intimate partner or child of such partner? Nope. Have you been convicted of a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence? No. Now, remember, this one here, there is case law from the Supreme Court. It's called United States v. Haynes. It's a early 2000s case. Any misdemeanor crime of violence where a family member is involved is a crime of violence, just like domestic violence. So if you get charged with assault and the assault is you punched your wife or you punched your sister-in-law, that counts as domestic violence under this. So you would be disqualified under Lautenberg, and that's the Lautenberg Amendment right there. Have you ever renounced your United States citizenship? Nope. Are you an alien, illegal, or unlawfully in the United States? Nope. Are you an alien who's been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa? Nope. If yes, well, and I didn't select yes, so we are not applicable. If you're an alien, record your U.S. Alien or admission number. Don't have to worry about that. But they give you an example of it if that's down there. Have you been issued a unique personal identification number, a UPIN? Now, people use UPINs if you've been denied repeatedly. And the system confuses you for another guy who's got a bad record. And you get denied or rejected a lot. Okay, well, you know what? You can use that PIN number, and that kind of short circuits the issue at times. So if you have one, use it. If you don't have one, it's not a big deal. Most people don't need one. A country of citizenship. Well, there's an easy one here. United States of America. Click. We don't have to worry about the rest. We click next. Now, responsible persons. Responsible persons are the people who are going to be allowed to possess and use the items. If you're in a trust, all the people in your trust, if you have multiple trustees, or if you're a corporation, your corporate officers who are going to be allowed to use it are going to be responsible people. And for each one of them, you need fingerprints and a picture. All right. And they have to fill out the responsible persons form. Well, I'm an individual, so I only have one spot. Now, with responsible persons, you have a form. It's called a 5320.23. And that's the responsible persons form. There's an actual form for this. I don't need that. It's not required for an individual applicant, and the field is grayed out. So neat. You have to do, they allow you to do PDFs and JPEGs. So make sure your things are set for that. If you don't, make sure you convert those to the right file types. Maximum file size is 3 megabytes. You're not required to use your social security number, although it helps. And let's be real, they've already got all your information. So it's not like giving the government your social security number isn't something you already haven't done. I mean, they got it. They know who you are, especially if you're trying to get something like this. So the status, there are errors that need to be corrected, but I haven't filled anything out yet. So we're going to go into this. Okay, so we're going to click on view. All right, so we're going to go into here. And we're going to go to actions, edit. Title, there's no title. We're going to do first name. Okay. Form 5320.23 has been grayed out, so you don't have to worry about it. You have photo. All right. So photo. We are throwing in a photo. Bam. Now, electronic fingerprints. These are done. Your police may do it for you, but if they don't, you can go to the UPS store and other places like that will allow you to do electronic fingerprints. You go in, there's a machine, you take your fingers, put them on, roll them, and do all that, and they take your fingerprints. It's not a thing you can read, but they will read it, and you get this information. Bam, it shows up. Your social security number. I'm putting mine in. Why not? My zip code, my address, my birth date. 5. Birth country, United States of America. Birth state, the great state of Ohio. State of residence, the great state of Ohio. Pow. Sex, yes, please. I know I'm a jokester. No, male. Ethnicity, not Hispanic or Latino. It makes you really wonder why they need to know the race and ethnicity of people buying firearms, but hey, that's already been, that's a question the government doesn't like to ask. And then race, who white. All right, so then we're all set. Save and close. Form saved successfully. We're going to go next. Agency, the CLEO, your chief law enforcement officer. Now, it used to be way back in the day, going back years, you had to get permission from that person before you could submit your forms. Well, they got rid of that requirement. Why? Because now everything's computerized and there's databases. But this was meant going way back into the 30s and 40s when the government didn't know who you were. But your sheriff might say, oh, yeah, this guy's good, or, oh, wow, this guy's a piece of shit. We can't give it to him. So that's why it was there, and it still exists. So what happens now is you notify the ATF who your chief law enforcement officer is, and then they notify that person for you and say, hey, here's what's going on. Okay, so your agency. Well, I have the Willoughby Police Department. UG. The name of the official. So you're going to find the name of the official where you live. And in this case, it's your chief of police if you live in a town where there's police. Or if you live in a rural area, it might be a county sheriff or it might be state police. I don't know. Basically, what I would tell you is if you call 911, who shows up to your house? If you said 911, there's a burglar in my house, who shows up? County sheriff, state police, local police, whoever it is, maybe your constable, whoever, that's the person you need to list. And then their title, chief of police, their address. I can say everything out loud. I don't need to get A-logged completely. It won't take much, but we're going to try to be a little secure in things here. Now we're to the part where you're actually adding the light items, which in this case is a firearm. All right, so you're going to add a firearm. Now, we don't have templates. Okay, so by manufacturer, Anderson Manufacturing. Yes, I'm registering a poverty pony. Uh, so manufacturer successfully verified. Anderson exists. Now we're going to next. It's a short barrel rifle, and they have different types of Anderson things that are on here, but we have the AM-15. Notice, and what does my roll mark say? And that's where you check. What does your roll mark say on the side of your weapon? That's the model. So in this case, it's an AM-15, not just an AM-15. My caliber is 5.56, and that's in millimeters. If you didn't have an item that's on the list, you would have to indicate that. Barrel length, 9.50. Overall length, 5.00. 25 inches. Serial number, 180. We're going to double check that. You're going to fire this up real quick and see what it says. 180-90907. Now, somebody would think, oh my God, you put this up. Somebody's going to claim you stole their gun. Do it. I dare you to try that. We'll see what happens. Description, 9.50. 9.50 inch short old rifle. State why you intend to make the firearm. Now, here you can do all kinds of things. Some people have been smartasses and they've said, well, I'm doing it for zombies. There have been Form 1s and Form 4s done where it simply says, because you make me do this under the law. Allegedly, somebody's got one done where they said, if I don't do this, you'll burn my house down. Now, do I think you should be cheeky about it? No. Just write down all lawful purposes. Why? Because that's true and that's correct. And all lawful purposes covers everything you may want to do. You don't have to specify because I want it for home defense, because I want to go to the range, or I want to shoot IPSC or USPSA with it. No, you just saying all lawful purposes covers everything you might want to do legally with the weapon. So that's what you'll do. Then you get down to here. You can save it as a template. I don't think you're probably going to do this ever again for this specific issue unless you've got another one sitting there next to you. So just hit next. Now, electronic descriptions. Okay, add a close-up of the stamping or engraving currently on a serialized part. All right. So, for example, I already showed you it's an AR-15 style weapon. So there needs to be a close-up of the roll mark on the lower receiver. At least for me, that's where the markings are. So we're going to open this up, and I've already taken a picture of it, and I've cropped it down. And it shows the manufacturer's logo. It shows its location, the city and state, the model number, the caliber, and then the serial number. So all of that's in the roll mark and stamping. All right, description, roll mark, and serial number. Add document. So that's what I have to add. And it's pretty easy. Okay, cool. Now we're finished. All right. Next, electronic documents. Okay. Now this is where if you have things you need to add. So for example, a 24-month document submission exception. You may have one of these. Well, actually, let me rephrase. None of you watching this probably do. So we're going to leave that alone. Additional silencer instructions. Well, we're not getting a silencer today, so that doesn't apply. A corporation, trust, or other legal entity. So if you're the trust or you're the corporation, this is where you submit those documents and you would attach them. If you have diagrams or schematics, this would be if you are making a brand new firearm. It's a prototype or it's a home build silencer, a home build short barrel rifle, a short barrel shotgun, any other weapon or destructive device. You would put that here. But once again, we're not doing any of that because we're registering an already existing item. Okay, so it doesn't apply. A non-immigrant exception document. You may get special dispensation. We don't have to worry about that. Other. Well, we don't have to worry about other. A photograph. We're not doing photograph. I already put my picture in and a picture of the roll mark. Proof of the FFL or SOT. We're not doing that either. And state or local permits. Don't need them. So you don't have to worry about that. What you're going to do is, and here they point out what these are all about, and they show you, but we don't have to worry about any of that. So we're going to keep going. And here is the review. They want you to check through. You check your name, check your address, and I'm checking it right now. Boop, boop, doo, 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 doo. And then here were the items we filled out, like a 4473. No, 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 not applicable. And then we get down to section 17A, mentions yes. Who's our police department agency, the chief of police. Okay, where are they located? Then you get to the firearm part. Okay, here's my firearm, the serial number, the model, the type, the overall length, the barrel length. I verify all the above information is correct. Okay, cool. Bam. All right, now before we stop, we've got an issue. Apparently, I didn't do everything right in the responsible person's part. So we need to go back. You're going to click this, and it's going to take us back, and it'll say, oh, there's an error. All right, well, what's our error? Okay, so we go back here, and it says a title. Well, Mr. Sean Martin. All right, save and close. Form is saved successfully. All right. Now we'll skip ahead back to verify. We're already done. We're going to click I verify everything is correct, and we're going to move to next. The application is validated successfully. Cool. Now, if you click on this, you can click the view form of completed. You can see it, and here we'll click on it. And what this does bring up is it brings up for you, and I will show this in a second, is the actual form 1. If you were to sit there and type one out, what would it look like? Well, in this case, it shows it as a draft. And here it shows all the normal things that are there. And you go through all of this here. It shows you everything that's going on and all your pages. It'll show your photograph as it attached, which is kind of neat. It shows everything set up, and then it shows all the other stuff. And then you're done. So what you can do is look over everything here. Now you have the options of certification. You're certifying under penalties imposed under 18 U.S.C. 924 and 26 U.S.C. 5861 that upon submission of this form to the ATF, a completed copy will be directed to your chief law enforcement officer shown in item 10, and that the statement is applicable, contained in the certification. Any attached documents in support thereof are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Yes, to the best of my knowledge and belief, this is all correct. Cool. All right. So I'm clicking yes, I did this. And then we come down here to pay. Well, what are we paying? Well, I'm not a robot first. So, and then we click to here, pay. We don't have to pay. Why? Because remember, it's tax-free. It's tax exempt. Now, I know Matt LaRosiere over at Fudbusters is filing a lawsuit saying, wait, federal government, you have to make us pay you. You can't not take a tax. Well, I'm going to go ahead and submit it anyway. Why? Well, why not get a free one from the government when you can? Also, remember, this is not a crime. This is not a trap. We've already explained why. So we don't have to pay. And it reminds you, this is still a draft. Okay. You're going to sign and submit. Please enter your PIN number. Now, I've already done this. I've already created a PIN. Submit. Now, your application has successfully been submitted. Your application number is here. And I'm going to snag that just so I have it set. Okay. And that's it. Now I've submitted it and it's gone. So that's it for today, guys. I know this is a bit of a longer video, and if you've never seen the Form 1 process, this is what it looks like when you're online. Obviously, if you do it for any other items or weapons, it's going to be a $200 tax. This is the one time where it's different. But please, comments or questions below, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.